Greetings, beautiful people. It's your girl, yo. Come on in here. I know I'm late. I know I'm late. We're going to talk about that, but y'all come on in here. Come on. I'm cheer. Let me put a little music on to give y'all a little time to come on in here and see what the old girl got to talk about. Y'all don't want to miss this live stream. Let me tell y'all about some things. Come on in here. Let me see. Checking for the music. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can't find it. Hang on. Y'all know. DT, you so funny. Dude, I call hell getting up on here, y'all. This stream y'all was tripping. My laptop was tripping. And then plus I see that Grandma Calling is live and I didn't want to interrupt them either because I haven't seen them around for a minute. So I didn't want to be rude, impolite, and ugly. We don't do things like that over here. Okay. But now I'm here. So let me see if I can find the music thingy. Hang on one second, y'all. We're gonna get some music in here. Mm-hmm. Hang on. Let's see where it is. I got to go. Y'all know it take me a minute to do these things, especially when I don't come on here like all the time. Let's go. Little music. Mm-hmm. Go it. Okay, y'all. We're gonna just go ahead and get started. And now other people can watch the replay. But we're gonna get started. How y'all doing this afternoon? I hope everybody is doing good. I hope everybody is doing good. I'm gonna show myself. Give me just a minute. Y'all, I had to pour me one of my little short shooters in the glass today. because this computer got on my everlasting nerve. Yeah, I'm glad you're doing good, Dish and Dirt. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you coming over, sis. Yeah, let me show myself. Let me get this thing up here. Let me get up on here. I'm doing good, sugar. Let me get up here. Hey y'all, how you doing? Everybody doing okay? I hope y'all doing good. Listen, I've been doing good. Hey Felicia, how you doing? Listen, DT is a trip. Let me tell you about DT. He be the first one coming over here with them little eyeballs in there. See the eyes in the chat? That'd be so funny. It had me tickled to death. He told me hurry up, and I would have hurried up, but this daggone computer, this laptop was acting crazy. Then I thought about going live from this apparatus, my this thing right here, this iPad. I thought about doing that. Then I said, well, if I do that, people expected me to be over here. Didi, what you laughing at? He's so funny. I be saying, this is funny. Look, he is so funny. Okay, so look, I'm gonna stop tripping. Y'all, look, this is what I did. Hold on, let me show you what I just did. What I just poured in this glass. Hold on. Where that little bottle? It's a little shot thingy. Oh, here it is. Let me show y'all. Listen, y'all, it's been so hot outside today. Look, I was out there in the garden and stuff, messing with the dogs and my planting. So I told my husband, I said, look, I'm gonna need one of these little jiggle bombs. I was sneezing and stuff. So I said, look, let me go ahead and take this shower and get this jiggle bob, and then I'm going to set this live stream up and talk to the people. What's up, Nene? I haven't seen you in a minute, baby. I've been seeing you coming through, making comments, and I appreciate you, baby. So let me just stop and say this, y'all. Oh, and I haven't drank this, y'all, yet. This is my natural high. I poured this right here, this little thing right here, in this glass right here, and then I added a little bit of soda, and then I have to add some water to it because it's still a little too strong for me. But anyway, I'm gonna take her down tonight. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's going down. Okay. So look, but I want to say this though. I definitely want to thank each and every one of you. I don't care who you are. If you come over here and just pop in, you be on stage for 2 minutes. If you just come over here, shout out or hit the like button or whatever, I really appreciate that. And I don't think that I say that enough. So I need to be mindful of it. I don't want y'all to think that I'm taking your time for granted, right? Because my time is really like crunched all the time. I always have something to do for somebody. I have to do something all the time. So time is really important. Hey, Salaya Ben, y'all, thank you, baby, for coming in. So listen, today the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of people, well, I know some of my thinkers over here, these subscribers and these thinkers that come through here. I know y'all probably know the answer to this question, but it's more to what I want to talk about than just this question. This question was to get you over here. And we're gonna go a little deeper, right? Okay, so look, the name of this live stream is called Supermarket versus Grocery Store. Is there a difference? Okay, and the answer is yes, there is a difference, right? The difference between the supermarket and the grocery store is this. Now, with the supermarket, it has more things in it than food. It have like household appliances and things like that, right? You know, like the Walmarts and stuff. They have body products, dog food, everything, and plus food. So any stores that have anything other than just food in it, that is what you're gonna call a supermarket. Now, the grocery store is only going to have food that you could eat, right? It's going to have your produce in it, your vegetables, your meats, and things like that. Okay. So now I'm going to teach you something. Well, not just right here, but I'm going to teach you something throughout this live stream. So I remember being a child, and my mom and them used to send us to the store. And I know some of y'all would, hey, Mr. Kimi, what's up, sis? And I know that a lot of y'all used to go to the stores. Your mom used to give you a little list and say, go around the corner and pick this, that, and that up, give you the little list and give it to the man in the store. Well, the reason why they did that is because that was a real supermarket. Now, see, now I'm gonna get the words twisted because here we call everything the grocery store, right? We just call it the grocery store, and most people intertwine the two. But when I say the grocery store, I'm talking about the shops that you go in with just food only. So again, my mom and them used to send us around the corner to the store. We could walk to it. and have a list, and we would give it to the person at the store. And the store that we went to, the man owned the store. Him and his wife, they owned the store, right? And so we'd give them a little list, and we'll just wait at the counter, and they would take that list and go down the aisles, right? While you waiting at the cash registers, you standing still. You can't go through the stores like that. They would do it. Then they will bring the food back to you, put it on the counter. Then they will ring the food up. They will give you the ticket, and they will scratch off everything on the list. And then you would have to check that list to make sure that they have everything right. Then you would go ahead and exit the store. And another thing too, back in my days, look, I sound like I'm old and so antiquated, but yeah, I'm an old lady, but it is what it is. They used to have things at with our neighborhood grocery store. They would let you also put stuff on the books, which means that you could shop for a whole week at their stores, right? Your mama sends you to the store with a little list. They put everything there. They give you the little ticket of how much you owe them. You don't have to exchange cash or anything. And at a certain time of the month, or maybe when my mom and them got paid, or on every 2 weeks or whatever, then they would go and pay and clear that bill off with that person that owned the store, right? So you were sort of like getting stuff on credit. So that used to be the thing back in my days, right? But then everything got all, you know, big and all that stuff, and people wasn't like real intimate with one another. Everybody knew everybody and stuff like that in the neighborhood, right? We knew everybody knew everybody. And by the way, it was a white couple. It was James and Kate. They owned that grocery store that was in our neighborhood, but they also lived in our neighborhood too, because my parents and when we were growing up, it was like only in the whole block. And I'm gonna take y'all to my street one day. I think I've done it before on this thing, and you can see where where I came from. It was a lot of white people living in our block. And so we were the only black people that moved in the block the day that when my mom and them came in. And then a lot of white people moved from out of our city, out of our block, up into a place called Chesterfield, which is another more high end place. But you know what I'm saying. So they moved up a little higher just to get away from the black people that was taking over the block pretty much, right? So we started owning the block, right? But my family was the first family in that block. Okay, now this is what I want to ask y'all, and I want to see if y'all know the answer to this. Do y'all know? Hey, everybody's speaking to each other. I'm glad y'all having fun. Do y'all know what was the first? And I have some notes in front of me because I don't want to forget what want to talk to y'all about. Do y'all know what was the first grocery store here in the United States that opened? Do anybody know the answer to that? Hey, Miss Chicago, how you doing, baby? Peace and blessings to you too. Do anybody know what the first grocery store was? Well, okay, so you don't have to figure it out. I got it for you. Well, the first grocery store was called Piggly Wiggly, and that came out in 1916. And I know when my husband and I got married, because I got married in Georgia. I left from Virginia and went to Georgia and got married there. And I never saw the name of the store. And I saw this big old pig, and I was like, Piggly Wiggly? What a name for a grocery store. But that was actually the very first grocery store that opened up in 1916. And it was called, again, Piggly Wiggly. And with this store, it only had food in it, right? Okay. Soon after Piggly Wiggly opened up, other people, you know how people copy your ideas and copy your shit. So you start having all these other little grocery stores popping up with different names, right? Y'all probably know the names of these in y'all different cities and stuff. But actually, Piggly Wiggly was the first grocery store that opened up in 1916 in Memphis, Tennessee, to be exact. Okay. All right. So now I want to also talk about. Let's think about this. Now, why did other grocery stores start opening up? Why did other supermarkets start opening up, competing against the grocery stores? Let's ask ourselves that question. Why? Why did they do that? Right? I wonder why. And then first, why did Piggly Wiggly start a grocery store with just their little products and stuff like that? And where were they getting their foods, right? Because many people used to have gardens in their yard. Everybody had a garden. Everybody had food. So once they start changing it over, and all these different little chains started coming up, the grocery stores versus the supermarket, right? Because the supermarket started saying, well, shoot, it's saying you can save time and everything. So we're gonna open up a supermarket wherein you can get the deodorant. You don't have to go to the drugstore to get your deodorant after you get your food. Um, they had the little meat markers in there, and I remember as a child again. It was a place that we used to go to just to get meats, and we knew who our butcher was, right? We used to get this thing called SK bologna. I don't know if y'all remember that kind of bologna, but it was called SK way before Oscar Mayer. You remember that? Remember that? It said, we used to know that commercial by heart. I got to sing it for y'all. It says, my baloney had a first name. It's Bolena. This it's a little boy used to sing that. And he said, my baloney had a second name. He would spell baloney again. And he said, I love to eat it every day. And if you ask me while I'll say, because Oscar Mayer has a way with Bolonga. Right? So we used to sing the little jingles on the song because my daddy used to tell us to go to the supermarket. You remember that in Chicago, right? My daddy used to tell us go to the supermarket and get some SK bologna, and that man would come out there. The butcher would come out there with a great big old roll. It was like real thick, like this, and it was long. And he'd put it on this big old blade, and he would just get to slice it. And then my daddy would tell him how many inches he wanted. He would want it like this thick. Let me see if I can get my hand right. About this thick. And then we'd take that thing back to the house. Daddy would fry it on the stove, and he would put some green peppers and onions on that thing. And guess what else you had on the side? You had a can of pork and beans, Phillips pork and beans. You had a bologna sandwich and pork and beans, and that was dinner one day to fill you up, right? But anyway, back to the supermarket thing. All right, so with the supermarket now, and you got the grocery store and the supermarket, they compete with one another. And if you notice that things that are in the supermarket, you're going to pay more for. Why? The reason why you pay more for the things in the supermarket, which is the big stores, is because it takes a lot of space to put your food, your stuff in this big old building. So you have to incorporate your overhead, your storage, where you're storing the stuff at, right? You have to incorporate that. That's why the prices are higher versus you going to a more intimate shop, which is something like a Piggly Wiggly, which is with food. You also have nowadays you have Audi. I don't know how y'all say it, but that store. You remember Felicia, poke and beans? You had poke and beans and rice. Girl, listen, you can flip them beans all kinds of ways. Um, yeah, but those stores that you pay more because of on the space that they have to pay for, right? And then you think about it too. Those the little shops, they kind of push those little smaller shops out that don't have everything in it because they're talking about saving time. But let's talk about how that went wrong. By them doing that, those bigger stores, they really didn't have any type of no rules set up or no rules in place. Foods that they were getting in, like regulations for food and stuff that they were receiving to sell to us, right? Those little shops, those little grocery stores, they had more rules to abide by. They were getting that stuff from farmers and things like this. Those bigger box stores was getting it from any place they could get it from, and they were selling it to you and me, right? So what happened when that happened? Now we're talking about the 1900s when all this stuff started, way before we got into the 20th century. Okay, so let's think about how times was. I know some of y'all probably weren't born, but let's look at our parents and stuff. Then, if you weren't born, how healthier people was before they incorporated all these other stores that had everything else in it, just because they try to save you some time. That's what they said. Okay, let's talk about this. Okay, listen to this. Notes. Let me get down here. It was something that I really wanted to tell y'all about while I'm on that part right there. Oh, another thing too, the staff was more intimate with you when you came into the stores. Everybody knew who you was. It was more personal. It was like we was all like a family because if you're helping the store and you are a regular customer to them people, they're gonna treat you right because you're gonna tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody. How many of y'all now are telling people about the stores that you shop at? you're not recommending those stores because it's not like they all of that for real. It's like it's just like, okay, this is the store I go to. You might say that they got orange juice or something on sale to somebody or something, or you might get a little what you call those little stickers or certificates or coupons or something like that. But other than that, and that's during the holidays because most of the time you busy going out there getting your stuff and coming on to the house. Okay, but let's go here in the 1900s was a turning point with this all this shopping and stuff like this, right? Because they didn't have a lot of stipulation on the vegetables and stuff that was coming into the stores because the farmers were started putting pesticides on stuff and all of that stuff and spraying your foods and bringing them in. And guess what happened, y'all? Let me tell you what happened. On the 20, look, I'm smack my lip in the the 20th century. You know what happened? And this is crazy. We started getting all of these diseases, and what started coming up. Let me tell you the name of the diseases that started happening to people that was eating from these other stores, these other grocery stores, not the supermarkets. When they changed from the okay, so let me slow it down. So when they changed from the regular, small, intimate grocery stores and moved to the supermarkets, people started to get sick with these elements. And let me just tell you what it was. I know one of them was it's like three or four different elements. Hold on one second. I wrote it down. Dang it all, I don't want to mess it up. One of them was typhoid fever. They started having that. There was a big outbreak about that. Then they had the salmonella breakouts. That was another problem. They also had tuberculosis and botulism. They had the scarlet fever as well. All of this stuff started breaking out and hurting the people. And we talking about the United States started hurting the people in the first part of the 20th century, right? So that's where all the stuff came from. Then came along a man named Upshot. His name is Upton, Upton, last name Sinclair, Sinclair. Okay, in 1906. What he did, he wrote a novel, right? And in the novel, it's called The Jungle. He was writing about the unwholesome working environment in the city of Chicago in the meat packing industry and how unsanitary the conditions were, the way that it was doing the meats, and that novel took off like a rocket. This was in 1906. It took off like a rocket. So people, the citizens everywhere, started looking at this thing and was like saying, "Listen, wait a minute, we got to do something about this." So you got all these groups together and stuff, and they started going towards the government and making them change policies. So this is why that by we have it. It was 1916. That's when 1906 is when he came out with it, and in the public awareness, they was going crazy. That's how we came up with the Pure Food Act, or the Pure Food and Drug Act. That's how that law came into pass. Simply because that man wrote a novel and had all this information about how our meats and stuff were handled. And you know how our government is. It take a minute or so where they get it right sometimes and sometimes not, depending on what their motive is, right? Okay. And we still been having struggles. You know, a lot of people have lawsuits or had lawsuits because people were getting cancer and they were falling ill to a lot of the foods that they were bringing in from the supermarkets. They had a lot of recalls. All that stuff was going crazy. And doing my research, I see that not much have changed. Although they had little small changes, not much have changed because they were saying it's like 100 people out of 1,000 people will be getting sick all the time from the diseases I just explained to you that was happening through this Food and Drug Administration. Yeah. So I know you're saying, yo, why are you telling us all that? Well, I ain't finished. I'm gonna tell you some more stuff. All right. So once that happened and the law got passed and stuff, when for the Food and Drug Administration to go and start doing little tweaks and stuff like that and making certain things law that not spraying certain pesticides on your food and handling your meat in a different way. In 1916, the data showed that the food was contained with vitamins and like of minerals because it's the way that they was packaging stuff, and that was causing people also to have diseases and problems. I was like, well, God dang, if it ain't one thing, it's another when I was researching this thing. And come to find out, it says, then the focus changed from them spraying the stuff. So I guess they got tired of dealing with that and they did what they want to do. So, in other words, they put a little band-aid over that. And so, because the crisis started to happen and the focus changed when it shifted to the second half of the century, which would be like mid 21st century. And what happened was the disease prevented to control chronic conditions such as cardiovascular disease and obesity was taken off. It started to being like an epidemic, right? And as y'all can see, that's still an epidemic in our society right now. You know what I'm saying? With the people having heart problems and people are being obese too big, right? From the foods that we're intaking. So y'all might say, well, yo, you telling us all of this. Why? Well, before I tell you why, let's talk about how we used to keep food safe. And once you did get it from the stores and stuff like this, way before it was a refrigerator. And speaking of refrigerator, do anybody know when we first got a refrigerator, started using like the refrigerators and the freezers and the refrigerators? Do you know when that happened and what year when did they come to be so relevant in our life? Do y'all know what year that was? Anybody? Take a guess. When did we start getting refrigerators? The refrigerators with the freezers on the inside. Y'all don't know? Let me tell you. Okay, it's okay not knowing because a whole lot. I told you I like to learn something every day, and some things I don't know and I have to remember because it's been so long ago. Okay, so the first time that we started using refrigerators here was in the 1920s. See, that wasn't long ago. We started refrigerating our food in the 1920s. Before the 1920s, the way we kept our food cool, and y'all was tripping off me when I was telling you I was digging that pond in case of an emergency. That big old pond I dug with one shovel by myself in the backyard that I got right now. I said, Before that COVID came, I said, let me feather my nest and stuff get shut down and cut off and turned off and things like that. How was I going to keep all this food that I have safe? I dug that pond because that pond could be used for water. When the rainwater, sometimes the ground will have more water in it, and it'll bring water up naturally. You can use that water. You can purify that water to drink it. You can use that water to take a bath in. You can use that water to flush toilets with. You can use that water for a plethora of things, even water your plants. You can do a lot of things with a hole in your yard, and you can call it a pond. You put fish in there, and you can put real live fish in there. You can also get the fish out because they multiply. You can eat it, right? But the main thing is back in the day, what they did was they took that food and they put it in a pond, or they either put it in cold water, right? That's how they would that frozen food or that food, the meats that they would get, the food that need to be kept cool. They would put it in the sink, put in cold water in the sink. They would put it in coolers. They would put it in ponds. And another thing they used to do is dig a hole in the ground and make it like a little what you call that thing, like a little dungeon or like a little shelter, a little dungeon in the ground, and they will pack the food in there where it stay cooler because underneath the ground is much cooler than it would be on top. They would store that food that way. They also would take that food and put it in the windowsill. My grandmama used to take her food and put it outside, and had a ledge. You got the windowsill on the inside of your house, you got one on the outside. She would take it on the outside and put her stuff on the outside of the windowsill. See, not where the sun comes up, but on the opposite side of the house, it will rotate it, right? So the food could keep cool, right? If you wanted to keep stuff cool. Remember they used to cool pies? And if y'all think about that movie, Life, with what it was Eddie Murphy in it and what's that, Martin Lawrence. Remember when they was trying to steal a lady pie and she had it outside on the window, right? Y'all remember that? You see, people used to do that back then, right? So yeah, but the refrigerator didn't come into play until 1920s, and I'm trying to understand why not. When, if y'all don't know who made the first, who was the one that made or discovered or invented the deep freezer or the freezer by itself, he was an engineer. It was in 1834. His name was Jacob Perkins, and he was an American inventor. He was a mechanic, an engineer, a physicist, and he received 21 um, patents in America and 19 English patents, right? So y'all gonna learn something today from old yo. So yeah, it was 1834. That's what he did. Okay, but so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling y'all all of this because let's think about this. Why do you think that someone really wants to help you be healthy? Why do you think someone want to hmm, want you to live a long time? Do you think it's just a humane thing for somebody to want you to do this? And so that they thought about putting everything in a grocery store? Now, I think not. Because I look at this. The only thing that I have seen from people that go to the grocery store, all I hear is problems. So first of all, that food that's being shipped to us, it takes days for it before it comes to us. It's not fresh. It has to travel to you from different countries, through different states, through different type of inclement weather, right? And we have to trust that the food that's coming to us is going to be at least a little fresh in order to put it in our mouths. But a lot of times these foods, especially the meats, they have been frozen, defrosted, refrozen, repriced, and sold to you. Yeah, they have manager specials in the stores now. What's a manager special in the store? Is that the meat is old and they change the prices and hope and lower the prices so that you'll get it because they say it's still some good, still halfway good. Now, all that stuff I told you about botulism and all these different types of things that you can get. And the reason why you can get it is because the microbes that's in meats and stuff like that you have to keep that meat fresh, right? Because it kind of like self-explode. It gets bad. Worms come in it. If you take some bacon, any type of bacon that you buy, and you take a bacon and put it in one of those jars, like a mason jar like this, let me show you something. Let me tell you something what will happen to you. If you take, this is my lemon water right here. If you take a piece of bacon, just one piece, put it in a jar like this with nothing in it but just the bacon by itself, and put that top on there, and let that bacon sit out. Just let it sit out for a couple of days. Then you pull that bacon out there, you're gonna see little teeny tiny tapeworms in it. That's the same thing that'll be in your stomach. And people think that if you take pork and cook it at a certain temperature, it'll kill those worms. It never kills them worms. Those little worms that's in there, it never kill it. Same with the ham. And guess what those things do when you put it in your mouth and you eat that? It goes down into your body, into your upper and lower intestines, go all through your esophagus and get down there, right? Your digestive system. And what it does is it attaches itself. It clings, it attaches to the walls of your intestines. And then they start just eating away at it because they feed off it. And when they feed off of it, guess what you be saying? Damn, I know I just ate, but I'm still hungry. You're going to stay hungry, which is going to cause you to keep on eating because you're going to be feeding them because they're telling you that you're hungry. They're like a baby in you. Baby say you're hungry, you keep on feeding, you can keep on eating. And what do that cause? You to be obese, health problems, all of these different things happen to you, right? That's not the only meat to do that. I'm just saying, listen, ladies and gentlemen, look, I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to just wake you up and to let you know that you need to start figuring out how to sustain your body and get your body right by growing your own food. And you don't have to have a whole bunch of land. All you have to have is some dirt and patience. That's it. You can grow anything. The same stuff that we grow or you see on those movies and videos in South America and all those other islands and stuff like that, you can grow right here. This is the motherland. This is the motherland. Anything that anybody else grow anywhere else, you can grow it too. Lemon trees, pineapples, anything you think of that you like to eat, you can grow it right here. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to stop being dependent on people so much, right? And it's gonna come a time, and y'all know the time is here. We are at war. We are People can dance around this thing all they want to. This is World War III. We're in it. It's not gonna get any better. It's going to get worse. Not better, but worse. I'm not trying to fear mong. This is my thoughts. This is your thoughts. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you, yes, I am. I'm telling you, feather your nest. Now, if you have to go to the grocery store and you're getting things like um, vegetables or something like that, those seeds that you have in there. Hey, traveling class, how you doing, baby? If you if you're gonna be getting the seeds and stuff, you're gonna get fruits and vegetables from this store. If you must, because listen, sometimes you're gonna have to eat what you have to eat. You take those seeds out of those bell peppers, all those colors, and I got videos on here to show you how to do this thing. I don't showed y'all. I went to the grocery store, bought bell peppers, all different kinds, took the seeds out of them, let them dry out, showed you how to dry them out, which is putting them on a napkin. It's just simple as that. Let them lay there for a couple of days, they dry out. You take those same seeds and go out there and put them in some dirt. Guess what you're gonna have? The same color bell peppers. You're gonna have those. See, just have some patience. But you just can't trust a lot of stuff or a lot of people with your food. And a lot of y'all talking about like money, 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 money. Listen, money is nothing if you don't have your health and strength to be able to even spend it. You can't even think right. You gotta have your health. That's the number one thing is your health, right? And as you get older, you're not gonna feel like doing a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that. Do what you can. Take a chair, roll that shit outside in the garden and sit there. If you can sit in front of a television all day long, look at a TV, you can damn show trot your ass outside or on your balcony or in your kitchen or wherever it is to get a little pot or something and throw a couple of seeds in and set it in your window. Then you sit back and watch it grow. You know, we're gonna have to do better, y'all. We're gonna have to do better. The time has come. It is here. And when you learn how to do something, teach it to your children and your children's children. Teach them to them grandbabies. Show them how to live. Show them how to survive when there's no way, no, when you learn something, teach them. If you can't do it, teach them. Okay? I just hope that somebody hear what I'm saying. I just hope somebody hear what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay, so now I need to start reading some comments. I've been seeing some of y'all. Y'all been typing, y'all been typing away, and I appreciate that. And I have not been listening because I've been focusing on what I wanted to tell y'all. Thank y'all for coming to the chat. Everybody that I haven't spoke to, thank y'all so much for coming through. I really appreciate it. I definitely wanted to get this off my chest because the time really has come. It's been here. And I've been screaming to the rooftop, grow your food, grow your food, grow your food, right? And you won't have to worry about nothing because you have to eat and you want your family to be healthy. You want to be here a long time. So you want to try to eat the right things, right? And what better way? Uh, it's such a good feeling to watch you when you plant something to watch it grow and be able to just go to your kitchen and just wash off a tomato or wash off something and just bite it. It's just so much. It tastes so much better to know that you've done that, and you can do it repeatedly. It don't cost you nothing, nothing. Yeah. But anyway, and here's another thing, y'all. Just so y'all know, while we talking about this food thing, excuse me. You know, during this so-called war, which it is, it's a third war. You know that they have messed up all, blew up some of those, the majority of those plants that have the fertilizer that you use to grow your food with. So the farmers won't be getting that. A lot of farmers are in an uproar because they're not going to be getting, and they're not doing it just one time. They don't did a whole bunch of those plants like that. Yeah, a whole bunch of the plants that do it. And as a man was on he was on the news, BBC News, a news reporter, one of the commentators on there, he was like, well, the farmers can just take the little bit of fertilizer and spread it thin, and they still can plant a lot. We could tell he's not a farmer. I'm talking to people that like to grow, because if you plant, you spread the fertilizer thin, then you won't get a heavy yield, right? So the best way to do it is throw it on thick. But I've showed y'all that you don't even need that to grow nothing. You can use your household scraps and you can make compost out of that. You can cut the grass. This summer, everybody, listen to me and listen to me closely. Save your grass clippings. When you cut your grass, if you have to rake it and put it in those plastic bags, collect those and put them in big trash cans, or a plastic trash can with a top to it. Save it, or build your little compost little stand. All you have to do is have a flat back to it and two sides. You take some 2x4, the flat wood, the panel, the plywood, make a one long plywood, put it to the back. You only need about 3 pieces and two on the side. Throw your stuff in a compost and cover it up. Grass clippings, old leaves, old when you're cooking in your kitchen, banana peelings, apple peelings, eggs, coffee grind, whatever that is that you use in the kitchen that's food, put it there and cover it up. And make sure you cover it up good so no rodents or nothing get in it. And when you see it, you cover that stuff up. Let me tell you something. You don't have to get no what you call that bag mulch stuff. You got it right there. Throw a seed in it, some will grow. There you go. Now anyway, I don't talk long enough. Let's see what we got going on. Oh, thank you, baby. Thank you, Russell. It's a respect to you, Miss Yo Thoughts. Let me get close. Respect to you, Miss Yo. Blessings to you and your family. Respect to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much, Russell. I appreciate your support. I really thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to bless everybody. Listen. We are all here in this. I keep telling y'all this. We're all in this little circle for a reason. And I know that I get on y'all nerves because y'all get on my nerves. And it's okay. I'm talking about with nigga noise, because y'all don't like a lot of nigga noise. You can get it out and say what you gotta say. But I know that I get on y'all nerves. This old lady over here always trying to tell somebody what to do. Yes, you damn right I'm trying to tell you what to do. I'm telling you something that your grandmama and them probably was trying to tell you and you didn't listen. Your aunties was trying to tell you and didn't listen. All them people that love you was trying to tell you something. I'm just going to be the same way. I'm trying to tell y'all something. And why is the urgency? The reason why is because if I knew what I knew back then, oh my. And most of the time, older people try to tell you guys something because they can see where they might have went wrong and said, damn, I should have did what my grandma said. I should have did. It was right. It was right. Right. And I don't want y'all to have to wake up tomorrow morning. If something go boom right now and people are running all over the place, don't know what's going on, and they got the martial law going on and they don't know how to survive, you won't be like, oh Lord, have mercy on me. No, it'd be like, okay, I remember my grandmama told me this. I remember Miss Yo Thought said I could do this. Your survival skills will kick in because it's in your DNA. It's in your blood. It's in your blood. We are resilient people. We don't die, we multiply. It's in you. It's in you. And you know when you're doing right and you know when you're doing wrong. You know when you're wasting too much time on some ignorant shit, and you know what you should be doing when it's time to feather your nest. And I'm telling you now, ladies and gentlemen, get at least some stuff together, food, seeds, and so that you can be able to take care of your family and your ammunition and make your house a fortress. So if anybody come, even if you have to make booby traps out there, somebody coming close to your door. My husband and I was looking the other day. We was looking the other day at he told me, said, baby, come on, watch TV with me. And I am not a TV person. I don't like looking at English shit. So he said, come on, baby, come on, watch TV. So I said, okay, he in his recliner, I'm right here. So I look at this thing on TV. And it's a show, nothing about, all about people stealing people packages off that front porch. Everybody just pull up with the cars all bold. They got these little doorbell ringer things or something, that thing you put on the door, where you can see the people pulling up, and they'll they'll pull the car up, they got a driver, somebody get out, they'll look around, go around, and they'll take the package off the porch and go. And some of the packages was exploding on the people, how different colors coming in. I don't know if y'all ever seen that, but I thought it was crazy. And then one time a guy jumped across the fence to get a bicycle he saw in the backyard. A little dog bigger than my penny, like this small as my little penny, my little brown one, went to chasing his ass. He couldn't get over that fence fast. The other dog was like, tak. But no, I was just saying that because it was reminding me, you can booby trap your house, and you don't have to pay these big time people to booby trap your house. Go and research how you can booby trap your house or your land or your surrounding, your apartment, so that you will be safe. right? And again, it's just not to scare you. It's just so when you prepare, you ain't worried about nothing. You can sit back and kick back and have a little drink and say, if somebody come be like, hold on, I hear something. Oh, okay. And push that button. You hear something go, pow. You hear somebody screaming. That's all. You keep on doing what you're doing. Anyway, that's enough of that. Okay, so look. What you said, Miss Gibby? This is what those thieves get. Yeah, they do. One lady had her hair all pretty. She was a black girl. She had her hair nice and pretty. She just went up there. She had a nice little size too, and she had on a white, pretty white shirt and her little jeans and white tennis shoes. And she just went prancing up to somebody's door, and she saw a big package. She was like looking around, this like that. She picked that package up, and she switched her little ass on down a little walkway. They say, you know, that she said, she was like, "Damn, not my hair." I thought I died laughing. That shit was funny. It was funny. That was funny to me. So yeah, but I was looking at some dumb shit. But I don't look at that all the time. But when I saw that, that was funny. I think I'm gonna start watching that show because it was really funny. But anyway, so look, y'all got any questions to ask me? Let me drop the link and see if y'all want to say hey to me real quick. And if y'all want to ask me something. But listen, and this live stream won't scare nobody. Oh, this is something else I want to say too, y'all. I also Googled because I wanted to know. And I don't really believe in a lot of statistics that people be putting out because you got to remember who's making the stats, who is counting. Because I say to the day I die, nobody knows how many people in this world. Nobody. Nobody knows exactly how many people that's living in this world. Why you say that, yo? Because I was feeding homeless people before. You remember that? All those years. And I remember a homeless woman had a baby in the woods. I got a video of me going over there that day talking to her on this thing right here. She had a baby in the woods. That baby ain't have no birth certificate. That baby didn't have no social security number. None of that. Yeah. And then not only that, how many people that you know of or have heard of that has had babies, like drop babies, had, you know, was pregnant and dropped them. When I say dropped, I mean had abortions. It's been women back in my day, they knew how to get rid of a baby. And I hate to say it like that. If they didn't want it, they didn't go to abortion clinics. Some of them didn't. A lot of back then, people died from not going to the clinics and getting them done the right way. Yeah. Yeah. And my grandmother, my mother's mother, told me a story about her girlfriend that was pregnant by a married man and dropped the baby. They called it dropping the baby in her toilet in her house. So people, they don't know how many people are here in this world. You don't know how many people came across the border. And then here's another thing: there's not a whole lot of borders around this world. And y'all think that we live in this one little small state and they got it drawn on the map and that's the shape of the state? Really? It's a whole lot of ground and land out here. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. And when people tell you there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Listen, that's another story. Anyway, feather your nest, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have to say. Feather your nest. And stop worrying about these grocery stores. You know, right now you don't have no choice because you waited too late and things are right tight. Get what you can from them and get it now though, because you're gonna have to, right? But when you know better, you'll do better. But do what you can right now. Feather your nest. And everybody that living in your household should have at least now 10 cases. Like for me, I should have 10 cases. It's me and my husband, my daughter leaving there, so just the two of us. Isn't that a blip? Damn, she gonna be leaving on. Oh Lord, she will leaving next month, y'all, in her own place. I told y'all about that. That's another story. I don't want to get teary-eyed. But anyway, it just be me and him. But I still be looking out for my babies, though. I'm gonna still have that back, and I'm gonna have that stuff here. So I know they ain't gonna halfway do right. They heard Mama talking and stuff. They know Mama got it, because I'm gonna make sure they have it. But for everybody in your house, y'all, at least have 10 cases of water for each person in your house that live in your household. 10 cases a piece. Get them now. 10 cases of water. The bottled water. Get the kind you got to get. 10 cases a piece, right? Now that's enough for that part, for your drinking. Then the other water, you know, dig a hole in the yard or start collecting water, use soda bottles, old soda bottles, or whatever you can, or mostly use glass if you can, bottles. If not, those same bottles that you're using for the drink water in, rinse them out, put tops on them, put them in another on the side. That's recycling bottle. So that's in case you have to boil that water to sterilize it. Put a little bit of chloride bleach in that water, boil it on the stove real good. You have to might have to wind up drinking it. Don't worry. When you guys go to the pool, don't y'all drink pool water sometime and get up in your nose and in your mouth? What you think you drinking? That's chlorine in the water. When you turn your tap water on in your sink in your kitchen, what you think that you drinking? That's processed stuff in there. That's that chlorine and all that stuff. You can taste the difference between that water, right? Just start making sure you have enough water and enough food and your ammunition. Booby trap your house. Love your people. Love your people. The ones you don't fool with, make it clear. If they ain't getting that shit together, when shit hit the fan, don't come running to your house. Because God bless the child that has his own. All right? And turn that damn news off. Pay attention to the symbols and signs outside. Carry your ass outside. Pay attention to them animals that's running around and see what they're doing. And whatever they're doing, that's what you need to be doing. Okay, there you go. All right. Oh, and your children that's going to school, listen. You can train them at home. You can train them at home during this summer. All them babies don't need to be going to no summer school because again, we're at war. What do people do when we're at war? They go after women and children. They may be getting on your nerves, but at least they be here. Get them babies at home. All right, they got work to do too. You can put that little hands busy too. Let them be outside helping you digging, putting plant shit. Teach them something. Anyway, I'm going. Well, I said I was going to drop the link. I'm going to drop the link, and then after this, I'm getting the hell up off here because I don't told y'all enough. Yeah, I wanted to stick. I want y'all to stick and hear what I say. Okay, let me see. Invite this thing right here. All right, I'm going to put this right here. Yeah, because a lot of people be on this thing right here. Be on this thing right here. Let's see, here you go. They be talking a lot of shit. And time something happen, they be the first one hollering. Oh, I did that too much. They be the first one. Don't pay that one no attention. I'm gonna do another one. They be the first one hollering and screaming, all scared up. And you know you can't be scared when something go down. You have to have a level head, you know, because everything will be all right. Ain't nothing new under the sun. And don't forget, this ain't the first war people done had. People don't live through the other ones. It would make you think you ain't gonna live through this one. So don't be tripping. That's all I'm saying. Don't trip. Yeah, because everybody got a birth date and everybody got a death date. Everybody got one. And so ain't nothing we can do about that. So just live each day like it's your last. Enjoy your day. All right, there go the link if anybody want to hit it. If not, I'm out of here. Y'all click that, tap that like button for me, baby. Y'all do that for me. Do it for the old girl. Again, I thank y'all for tipping and typing and coming through. Nene, what you got right there? Oh, you got your mouth. Oh, you got me hollering. Oh, I said something to you. Okay, let me see. 10 cases of water each person in the household. Felicia, check. That's right, baby. Get at least 10. That's gonna hold you down. And then when you get the 10, don't mess with those 10. That's to the side. And then when times get hard, if you have to sip it, a couple of sips will do. You don't have to drink the whole bottle. Put the top on it. Put your name on it. That's yours. Oh, and I'm going to tell y'all something else that y'all don't know. Y'all going to say, yo, you done lost your mind. But in a time of crisis like that, you know what people used to do when war came? They didn't take and pee in a hole in the yard. They didn't flush that pee down the toilet. You know, because, you know, they didn't do that. They did bowel movements in the holes and stuff outside in the yard in suburbia. But the pee they collected. Each person collect their own pee, their urine. And you keep your own urine and try to keep it cool because you may have to drink it. And believe it or not, urine therapy is a thing. It's really healthy for you to drink your own urine. Yeah. I ain't talking about taking it and just go after you piss and just go drink the whole. No. You take the urine, and this is what they used to do, and put a little bit of urine in a cup, and a separate cup. Take it out and say you put your urine in here, and say crunch time. They would take that urine and put it in a different glass, a little bit of the urine in a different glass. They would dilute it with water, They will put a little vinegar in it, apple cider vinegar, shake that thing up, and they'll drink it. It'll heal you too. Your own urine heals you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, in case you didn't know. Yeah. But anyway, okay. Miss Yo thoughts, I'm ready for that. You ready for what, baby? What you ready for? What she ready for? I should have been looking. Would you say, Lord, Miss Akimi? I'm telling you, but if you listen, y'all, all this stuff that y'all going to pay for these professionals with these long alphabets at the end of their name. Don't you know that your forefathers been doing stuff like this for years, knowing how to heal you and knowing things and stuff? How y'all think that they learned it? Just because they forgot to teach it to you, somebody got the information. I just thank God that I learned it from mine. But they know because they got it from yours. Mm-hmm. And they get paid for it. But I'm giving it to you for the free. Okay, y'all, let me get the hell off here because I'm talking about ass off. Okay, I'm going, y'all, for real. Look, I'm gonna talk to y'all later. Peace, everybody. Behave yourself, y'all. Feather your nest. Enjoy your life. Okay, enjoy your life. Don't be screwed. Don't be scared. Ain't nothing to be scared of. Hey, we here for. Look, we are born for a time such as this because nothing happens just because. There's never a why without a because. Yep. Start asking yourself why. Why are you here? What's your purpose? Because I believe you have multiple purposes, not just no one thing. So dig deep. I'm going, y'all. Peace, everybody. Thanks again, everybody. Mwah. I love y'all for real. I do. Talk to y'all later.